Hello and welcome to the Games4all Extra Podcast, Episode 3. I'm your host Dan Young. Today we're going to be taking a sneak look at Kane and Lynch 2, the final retail version. We had a look at it earlier on the last episode in its demo format. Now Kane and Lynch Dead Men, which is the original game that came out in 2007, was critically panned. It was a complete disappointment. It really just didn't live up to the hype. The control scheme was all over the place. It was just a game riddled with bugs and just horrible game. But is Kane and Lynch 2 any better? We're about to find out. It's worth noting that Kane and Lynch 2 comes with an 18 certificate and is extremely violent. It contains various scenes of torture and various other mature themes. Basically, the game starts with Kane and Lynch meet up again. They haven't seen each other since the first game, as we're led to believe. From the first mission, the game kind of hits the ground running. Literally, you're forced into a situation where you have to chase a half-naked man and his half-naked girlfriend through various back streets and things like that. The gameplay itself is pretty basic. I mean, it's kind of cover-based, point and shoot kind of stuff. Very much kind of based on Gears of War, I guess. At least this time around, the cover system works. There's a big problem in the last game. Aiming isn't a problem anymore. Moving around, the controls were just horrible in the first game. So they fixed a lot of that this time around, which is great. It is a lot more playable. It's worth noting that the default settings are that you get this kind of wobbly, shaky cam style. It's very much kind of what the game is all about. It's very highly stylized. You can switch that off, and I prefer that because it makes you feel a lot less sick. So, basically speaking, Kane and Lynch 2 is about an arms deal, and pretty much everything you can possibly think of goes wrong. And before you know it, pretty much everybody is after Kane and Lynch, and mayhem ensues, basically speaking. Not the greatest story ever told, let's be honest. Kane and Lynch aren't the most likeable video game characters, even for bad guys, to be honest, but they can be pretty badass at times, and combat itself is very limited. You have no real melee as such. It's all just pretty much weapons. You can only carry 2 guns at once. Ammo is very limited, but you can find plenty of guns around. Pretty much just cover and shoot. There are no grenades or of any type in this game, but you can pick up gas canisters which you can then throw and shoot. But there's no real melee. That you can take someone as a hostage, and you've got the option to throw them at somebody else or execute them. They make a good human shield as well. Even if you look past all its flaws, this is still a much better and well-rounded game than the first Kane and Lynch. It looks better, it plays better. It's pretty much the most simplistic way you can put it. Still not a fantastic game by any standards. It's definitely not the best gaming experience you are going to have this year, that's for sure. But you can do a lot worse. I mean, it's reasonably entertaining. This is probably everything the first game should have been, which is a little disappointing that it's taken this long for this game to come out. The missions themselves extremely short though. The game itself very short. Pretty much finished this in about 4.5 to 5 hours. So there's really not much here, which in some respects is probably good. I mean, it doesn't outstay its welcome at any point really. The missions are very short. They don't drag on too much, which I like. But really, there's not much of a game here to begin with. It's just pretty much shooting people. The game does have online and local co-op split screen. I'm not sure how many people will be interested in playing this game in co-op mode. You play as Lynch throughout the whole game, apart from the last level where you switch to Kane, which I guess could be quite confusing if you're playing in co-op. I guess you can't really complain about the short campaign mode. It doesn't drag on too much, and I guess there's some extra added value there because there are multiplayer modes, the Fragile Alliance, the Cops and Robbers. There's also an offline multiplayer style mode called Arcade Mode, which is Fragile Alliance, but it's offline. You play with a bunch of AI, and it's actually kind of fun. You steal as much money as you possibly can in the time limit and try and escape in the helicopter. It's kind of fun. Overall, this game's not too bad. There's stuff there to keep you entertained, but not for a very long time. It's probably one of those games you'll have done easily within the week and had your fun with it. So probably not one I'd recommend picking up from day one, but you know, maybe once it's cheaper. Basically speaking, Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days, I'm going to give it a fairly solid 6.5 out of 10. Okay, thank you very much for watching this episode of the Games4all Extra podcast. We've got tons more episodes coming up this year. There's loads of games coming out, so we're going to hopefully do an episode for each of these games that we're really looking forward to. Please continue to listen to the audio podcast. The website, if you don't know it already, is www.games4allpodcast.com. You can check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/Games4all. We've got a Facebook page, everything's on the website, so thank you very much for downloading, and we'll see you again very soon.